Storms hit Metro Detroit, leaving thousands without power and some serious damage all across southeast Michigan. Some of the worst damage happened in Grosse Pointe Woods, where a home was lifted right off its foundation.
And that's not the only community that has some cleaning up to do. Here's a look at the DTE power outage map, and you can see the outages are pretty widespread all across southeast Michigan. Right now, DTE reporting 157,000 customers without power. There is a lot of cleanup ahead. Mara McDonald live in Grosse Pointe Woods tonight with a look at what neighbors there are dealing with right now. Mara?
Sandra, for starters, I want to give everybody an idea of how extensive the power problem is. Hey, Eric, can you turn our top light off? Okay, you get the picture. It's pitch dark out here. Nobody has any power, and it goes on street after street. Now, drive down any street in the points, and you're going to see limbs down. And then you're going to see some substantial damage to homes as well. Justin Maxud was talking to us when the glass started cracking. His home actually shifting when the storm tore through. It lifted two massive trees and part of his house off the foundation.
Heard a bunch of tapping at this back window here. One dog thought somebody might have been breaking in. They ran to the back here and they stopped and just like skidded right before they hit the actual back of the sunroom, because it's up on an angle from the roots system over here, and if you notice here, it was flapping in half like I was telling them, it's like a scene from Jaws, like Quint being on the inside of the mouth, and you're watching it just chomp up and down, and the house separated 3 or 4 times up and down.
The sunroom of the house has been lifted off the foundation. There's a tear in the roof, and the backyard is, well, an absolute mess. Luckily, he's okay, and somehow has his sense of humor intact.
And with everything else that's going on, I mean, this is 2020. So, I mean, what else can you expect? I guess, I mean, still here, still breathing.
He believes this was a tornado. Looking at the damage, it's hard to believe it wasn't, although it's going to be up to the Weather Service to make that determination.
Do you think a tornado came through here?
Oh, almost definitely. What the hell is going to do this? What does this? What takes down 2 trees like dominoes?
Back here live, you know, you drive down any street in the points and you're going to see trees at the curb. It's widespread. I know the points aren't the only ones that have the issues tonight. Jason Colthorpe standing by live on Detroit's east side tonight. Jace, I hear it's bad over there too.
Mara, this is one of many streets right here that are impassable. In fact, the tree service just got here to handle this tree, which is blocking this entire street, and they say it's not even close to the worst they've seen tonight. This one, as a matter of fact, just take a look how big it is. It's in thirds. There's part of it still standing, part of it over this road, and the rest of it is on that house. And we're in the East English Village neighborhood, and for blocks, there's no power here. People will be cleaning up in this area for days.
The wind came up very rapidly, and I think it was almost maybe like a mini tornado.
Some people on Detroit's east side were barely to the basement when the storm did its damage.
And they just split like in 3 different ways.
The tree in Jeffrey Hawkins' backyard was so big, it was able to take out Southampton and part of his house.
The back sun porch is all caved in back there on the back. And the roof up top for where the bathroom is a hole in the ceiling up there.
When I came on the back street, I couldn't even see the street or my house. Instantly, I panicked, so I came around. I mean, it's just devastating.
Their biggest worry, though, was their kids who were inside at the time.
I'm just thankful my family is okay. The house is not bad, but it's bad enough.
We heard the big boom, and me and my fiance came running out and screaming for her to come out.
Around the corner on Hereford, another massive tree crashed onto this home.
Here, you're on the news.
You're on the news.
Trapping an 82-year-old woman and smashing up the family's car. And blocks away in Grosse Pointe Woods, massive sparks shooting as firefighters tried to put out several fires caused by power surges and downed wires. One of those fires, we were on the scene for, the homeowner told me he tried to handle it himself with his fire extinguisher, but it failed. That was in the basement. It ended up going to the first floor where they had just renovated everything. It did heavy damage there. We were on the scene of another home where they had renovated and a huge tree had fallen and ruined all of their renovations. I can't tell you how many monster trees we saw that had just fallen on houses tonight. Just damage everywhere you look, block after block after block. And like we say, there's going to be cleanup happening for days to come and weeks in some cases. We're live on the east side tonight. Jason Colthorpe, Local 4.
Wow, some very serious damage. Northern Oakland County also hit very hard by tonight's storms.
Widespread power outages and power lines down all across the area, and at least one home struck by lightning. The Nightcam Tim Pamplin has a closer look at some of the damage.
We're on Adams, just south of Orion. Many people without power after the trees came crashing down into the power lines here. Crews will be working through the night to get power restored here. Sheriff's deputies, firefighters all chipping in to try and clear the downed trees here across Silver Bell near Squirrel Road. Just a little north of there in Oakland Township, the arch nemesis of the power lines, this dead tree came crashing down, bringing the utility lines down with it. The storms rolled through during the dinner hour, bringing torrential downpours and high winds. Some of those wind gusts measuring on the hurricane scale.
Homeowner said that he heard a loud bang and then he started seeing smoke and flames.
That resident ran from his Groveland Township home, called 911. Saw smoke and flames billowing from the back of his home.
We think it was a lightning strike on the house.
Fire chief tells me all occupants got out, but the family dog, unfortunately, did not. A little bit further south, the Paint Creek Trail, one of my favorite spots, now littered with trees in all directions. Local first responders were kept on their toes, cleaning up the trees, picking up the pieces after this incredible storm. So back out here again along Adams Road. This is between Silver Bell and Orion. A couple of thousand homes without power here after the, as you see up there, the utility pole has to get replaced. Wires have to start getting strung again. And that's the scene in Oakland Township this evening with the night cam. Tim Pamplin, Local 4.